against Manchester City, live from Kings Meadow. Both sides will be looking to bounce back from surprise opening day defeats, underlying just how competitive this WSL season is going to be. Chelsea hold the advantage in this fixture. They're unbeaten in the last 10 league meetings between the sides. Well, following a promising pre-season for Chelsea, they suffered a frustrating start to their WSL title defence away at Liverpool last week. Despite opening the scoring through a Frank Kirby penalty early on, they failed to add to their lead and were punished by 2 second-half penalties for Liverpool, who snatched the winning one in the 87th minute. Certainly not the start they would have expected. Their opponents today, Manchester City, also had a disappointing start to their campaign, being eliminated from Champions League qualifying by Real Madrid before losing their WSL opener in a thriller by 4-3 at Aston Villa, despite coming from 2 goals down to lead in the first 10 minutes of the second half. So two sides meet coming off the back of surprise defeats. It is an early season blockbuster, in the words of Emma Hayes. Well, here is how things are shaping up this weekend, and what an occasion we saw at the Emirates. Capacity crowd, Arsenal beating Tottenham by 4-0. Current score in the games on Sunday, Brighton and Hove Albion leading Reading by 2-0. Aston Villa enjoying a 1-0 advantage over Leicester City at the break, and goalless between West Ham United and Manchester United. After this, another very tasty fixture. It is the Merseyside derby, Liverpool against Everton. So both of Chelsea and Manchester City looking to get off the mark and in surprising positions at this very early stage of the campaign, with the teams in 8th and 9th respectively. Arsenal lead the way. They and Aston Villa would both have 100% records if Villa continue to win their game today. Sam Kerr was the 20-goal top scorer in the WSL last season, and she has 16 goals in her last 14 club appearances, the most recent of which were 2 in the FA Cup final win over Manchester City in May. Canada international Khadisha Buchanan made her Chelsea debut in that defeat at Liverpool on the opening weekend, having joined from Lyon last summer, who she won the French League and the Champions League with. England international Lauren Hemp managed 10 goals in her 22 WSL appearances last season. She was also on target in that last meeting between the sides, scoring one of City's 2 goals in the FA Cup final defeat to Chelsea in May. And the Jamaica all-time top scorer, men's or women's, Khadija Shaw, already has 3 goals to her name this season, having netted in that 4-3 defeat to Aston Villa after bagging a double in Champions League qualifying. Serena Wiegman casting her eye on some of those England stars from the summer in their Euro success, but plenty of other talent on show. They have an engagement against the United States of America, of course, coming up to celebrate the anniversary of the women's side, and she will enjoy seeing arguably the pick of the games this weekend when it comes to pure talent out there, with 2 of the top sides going toe-to-toe, and they certainly do trust in Emma Hayes here, and why wouldn't they? What a remarkable return they have enjoyed under her guidance. The defending WSL champions. They've won the last 3 WSL titles, and further back 4 of the last 5 under Emma Hayes. Chelsea, 11 major trophies, 5 of them this top flight of the women's game. But they are coming off the back of an unfamiliar result, a defeat away at Liverpool to kick off the campaign. They only lost 2 games across all of last season. Well, it's something that they have become very unaccustomed to, being on the wrong end of a result like that. But now they're back on home turf, at home for the first time this season, in a repeat of last season's FA Cup final, and we are hoping for similar levels of excitement after a real topsy-turvy affair in that showpiece game in May. Two sides who are coming off the back of surprise reverses, meeting as the champions host a Manchester City team that are clearly in a transitional phase. Wasn't entirely clear how Gareth Taylor would cope with the major departures that he's had to contend with over the summer, and that opening day defeat to Aston Villa hasn't done anything to settle those concerns. Chelsea may have been defeated by Liverpool on the opening weekend, but they will quite understandably point to the fact that they will feel they deserved more than to come away from Merseyside empty-handed. They only lost twice last season on their way to the title. Another defeat today would be seismic, given that return that they enjoyed last term. Hayes has said that she is very excited about this blockbuster weekend. We've already seen a record attendance at the Emirates for Arsenal against Tottenham, and she believes that it shows that the game is going very much in the right direction. Well, there are three changes for both sides today. Chelsea's alterations come with a nod towards form, with Anne-Katrin Berger back in goal after Musovic started last week. Sophie Ingle and Niamh Charles dropped to the bench, meanwhile, for Jess Fleming and Maren Mjelde to come into the team. We expect Cuthbert to start in a slightly deeper role than usual in this fixture. Manchester City with three changes as well to the team that lost 4-3 against Aston Villa. Demi Stokes and Philippa Angeldal dropped to the bench, with Esme Morgan not involved at all. We believe that she is injured. Kirsten Kasperai, Denya Castellanos and Leila Ouahabi are the players to come in. It's the same front three, though, with England stars Lauren Hemp and Chloe Kelly linking up with Khadija Shaw. Well, Chelsea unbeaten in their last 10 WSL games against Manchester City. And it's worth remembering, for a second consecutive season, Chelsea have lost their opening WSL match, the defeat to newly promoted Liverpool. They have never, though, lost their opening two matches in a top-flight campaign. There is Erin Cuthbert, who, as I mentioned, we are expecting to operate in a bit of a deeper role than usual in this encounter. So much quality in that Chelsea squad, and so good to see Anne-Katrin Berger back in action, with the sad news about the return of her cancer earlier on this summer. And Emma Hayes says that she has been in top form in training, and it is simply down to her resolve and attitude that she couldn't leave her out of the starting lineup this afternoon. So the champions looking to get normal service resumed after the surprise loss. Says that they haven't had to change too much this week. Questions about what the response was going to be, but she says that nobody ever asks any questions about what the message is on the training ground after a win, and it's no different after a defeat. So it will be Chelsea in the dark blue to get us underway, and before we get underway, the players, match officials and coaching staff take a knee. Well, last weekend was a real reminder of just how competitive the WSL is going to be, and here's an early chance for Chelsea. Well, Sam Kerr, the top scorer in the WSL last season, almost finding the net with barely 10 seconds on the clock. Not the most watertight defending from Manchester City, and Kerr's reaction tells you she feels that that should have been finished a bit better. Scored twice in the FA Cup final win over Manchester City in May. Well, it wasn't the easiest of chances, but by her very lofty standards, it was a chance. Roebuck out from the back, immediately Kerr sniffing around her as well, and under pressure was Alexandri. Chelsea starting with real purpose and buzzing around, and Alexandri was almost dispossessed there. Bolton swings it long. Here's Hemp. Not quite bring it under a spell. Frenetic start to the game as Mjelde goes back to Katrin-Berger. Bright. Berger. Gareth Taylor was under pressure last season after a poor start during an injury crisis, but Manchester City clawed it back to finish third. The disappointment being that their Champions League qualification didn't really count for much, as they were knocked out by Real Madrid. An exit which was compounded by the late departure of Kira Walsh a day before the transfer deadline. That defeat to Aston Villa has darkened the clouds hanging over the club. Khadija Shaw, though, has had a bright start to the season and has almost got him round the back here. Buchanan in the way. Lively start to the game. Now Shaw here, shrugging off the attentions of Buchanan, not once but twice. She was trying to cut it back for Laura Coombs. It is her nickname, by the way, Bunny, in case you're wondering.
In the build-up, Steph, to you, outside for Dana.
Berger decides not to come, it's not been fully dealt with. Alexandri was putting on the pressure, and put on enough pressure that it's sent straight out of play by Frank Kirby. James going the wrong way, Buchanan's there. That's broken handily for Frank Kirby, and that's a useful ball as well. Kerr, angle against her, and it's easy enough for Ellie Roebuck. Well, vision here to set Kerr away. Cross came Horton, and she did enough to ensure that Kerr couldn't really get much purchase on the strike at goal. Alexandri nips in. Horton with the big switch, but it wasn't quite big enough. That's going to find its way to Lauren Hemp, though. Hemp looking for Shaw. And Shaw didn't quite get her angles right there to pick out Ua Harvey. It's a huge game at such an early stage of the season, isn't it? A loss apiece for two of the league's top sides coming into it. Well, might be a bit of overkill to say that we're talking about a six-pointer at this stage of the season. It is a huge game between a couple of the heavyweights of the division. it's started, it's set to live up to expectations. Wahabi waits to take the throw. Launch forwards by Coombs, and it's useful as well. Very useful! Oh, well, Chloe Kelly with a really good side of goal here. Just a suggestion she may have been offside. The flag didn't come up though. Well, that's the best chance so far. Horton. Taken down by Hemp. Manchester City growing into the game. Hemp still on the move. May have been better advised to offload there. She had plenty of sky blue up in support. James back there having to help her defence out. Chelsea suddenly find themselves up against it. Hemp away from Mjelder. She's done well. So the cross comes Bright to block the route to goal. Good period for Gareth Taylor's side. They've lost their last 3 games away to Chelsea in the league, Manchester City, and failed to come away with a victory in any of their last 5 visits. To go back to May 2016 when they were 2-0 winners away to the Blues for their last success away from home against them. Enjoying a good period right now though. Well, that's not the greatest pass. Shaw will put the pressure on Bright. Berger out from the back neatly. Here is Eriksson. Looks a bit late that on Eriksson. Here's Buchanan. Buchanan. Not sure that Cuthbert really wanted it there. Buchanan again. Here is Millie Bright. Well, certainly no sense of panic. And in the haze after that opening weekend defeat against Liverpool. Here goes Guro Brighton, who can deliver such a good pass usually, and has picked out Kirby here. Kirby had no one in front of her to offload to. Eriksson now, it's a deep one. Too deep for James! Dangerous and gathered by Roebuck. Jessie Fleming going in, they're asking for a handball in there. Well, Abigail Byrne, the referee, didn't see anything untoward. Tell you what, there should have been a flag, though, up against James. That much is clear, there wasn't. And if Fleming had managed to divert that in, it would have stood. Well, it's off the arm of Steph Horton, but I think that would have been harsh given the proximity at which the deflection came from. Here's Hemp. Muscled off it by Fleming, collected by Bright. Good start to the game. Not a good pass though from Kirby. Nearly came the way of Bright nonetheless. It's Kasparai. Horton. Collected now by Coombs. There was no risk that Chelsea were going to dwell on that defeat at Liverpool. Move on was the message from Emma Hayes when she was asked about their response to the setback. said that they've been talking about things internally of how they want to control the game, how to improve, and she just wants to see them implement what they've been working hard on in training. Nicely done. Nearly managed to pick out Shaw there to Greenwood. Here now is Jessie Fleming. Brighton releasing Kerr, who's got the wrong side of Horton, who hasn't got enough on that, and it's Sam Kerr, unselfish, Kirby! Kirby again, here's James. James. In from Mielder and gathered gratefully by Ellie Roebuck. And Steph Horton will be very grateful as well. Perhaps that Sam Kerr wasn't more selfish here after her under-hit back pass. Normally Kerr would go for goal, but tried to tee up Kirby. I have to say, I think it was probably the wrong choice, given the amount of traffic between Kirby and the goal. And Manchester City's goal remains intact. They have had a goal apiece already. Manchester City manager Gareth Taylor was talking about how he wasn't surprised to see Chelsea lose at Liverpool in their opening game. And that wasn't a dig at Chelsea, it's because of the quality he feels that all of the WSL clubs have this season. Pointed out that he felt the same about Aston Villa, who his team were beaten by 4-3 by at Villa Park. Said that Villa are completely different, with players of a higher calibre. Here's Shaw. Still going and going over, and nothing doing from Abigail Byrne. Well, Lauren Hemp making the case for City here. Shaw weaving her way through, and Khadijah Buchanan was unimpressed by her tumble there. And I think anyway that the challenge initially was made outside the area. Indeed it was, so even if it had been a foul, it wouldn't have been a penalty. Shaw doing her level best to ensure that she was inside the area when she went to ground. Another stellar signing for Chelsea to be able to bring in the shape of the Canada international. Joined on a free from Lyon. Great bit of business for the Blues. 3 goals in her 33 games for Lyon last season, on her way to winning the French League and the Champions League with the French Giants. Won 13 major trophies when she was with Lyon. And she didn't think there was anything at all in this from the Jamaica star. I think there was contact, but certainly wouldn't have merited a penalty as it was outside the box. As I say, he feels that it's an ultra-competitive division this season, and regardless of the team that he sends out each week, he expects a good level from whoever the opponents are. Looking forward to the challenge of trying to upset the odds themselves this afternoon. Insisted Chelsea still very strong favourites in this encounter, especially as they're on home turf. And the one thing you wanted to see from his players today was better version of them without the ball. That's been key, and it was a bit of a surprise for him that they weren't quite as effective off the ball against Villa. Kerr. It's a bit robust on Fleming, but nothing wrong according to Abigail Byrne. Now here's Sam Kerr. Slipped forwards for the run of Wrighton, who's done well. Has then been outmanoeuvred by Kasper. Kirby keeps it going. Cuthbert nearly dispossessed by Shaw. Mjelde. Bit of room for Cuthbert. Here is Buchanan. Cuthbert. James. And still. Now it's Cuthbert. Kerr trying to bring it down. It's broken for Alexandri instead. Early pass from Coombs to set Shaw away. Chelsea do look a bit concerned when Khadija Shaw is running at them. She's gone for this, and it got a deflection. Manchester City get their first corner of the game, and again it's Khadija Shaw who is causing the problem. She's already scored 3 goals this season, 1 against Aston Villa last weekend, to go along with 2 against Tomiris Turan in qualifying for the Champions League. 9 in her 17 games in the WSL last season for the former Bordeaux forward. That's a good-looking corner. And it will be another corner. Well, she looks disappointed. I wonder if that's because she feels it was a good chance or because she feels that she was nudged in the back. Either way, Alexandri didn't get the final touch. It will be another corner. I think she was mainly concerned that she may have been illegally manoeuvred off the ball. Berger can't get to that one, and Shaw accidentally got in her teammate's way, and then most of the opportunity to get it in. Emma Hayes called this a blockbuster weekend of WSL action, with her champions trying to bounce back from that defeat to Liverpool in a game against one of the other big sides in the league. Sold out Kingsmeadow. And we have already seen Arsenal break the WSL attendance record yesterday when just over 47,000 fans watched as they hosted Tottenham at the Emirates Stadium in the North London derby. And as if that isn't enough, there's the small matter of the Merseyside derby later. And Shaw again just gives Chelsea some food for thought. It was a good swivel, just couldn't quite keep the effort down. But it's a good battle to keep an eye on. Shaw up against both Khadija Buchanan and Millie Bright. Wrighton. Here's Kirby. That's not going to find Fleming. It does come the way of Shaw, who again is happy to run at the Chelsea players. Defeat to Liverpool last time out ended a 13-game unbeaten run in the WSL for Chelsea. Also saw them concede as many goals in that game as in their previous 13 matches combined. First time that they'd ever conceded 2 penalties in a single game, and only the 8th time it's ever happened. Manchester City may have thought that they should have had a spot kick themselves today, but when they see it later they'll realise that the challenge on Shaw was outside the area. It was a promising pre-season for Chelsea coming in to the new campaign, ended on a high with that victory over Portland Thorns. And they started well enough against Liverpool, with Frank Kirby netting from the penalty spot after just 3 minutes. And thinking about refereeing decisions, they felt that Sam Kerr had a goal rather harshly disallowed. Shaw, full of confidence, Khadija Shaw. Alexandri, Castellanos, Kelly, Shaw, he's gone for it. Berger was always confident enough that it was drifting over, but she is the go-to player so far in the game. With 9 goals in the WSL last season, 4 of them came in one game, the 7-2 success over Brighton and Hove Albion. Did score in some of the big head-to-head clashes as well. The 1-1 draw at home to Arsenal and the 2-2 draw in the Manchester derby away to United. Wahabi. Back from Coombs. Horton. Midway through a first half that has been gripping, despite the fact it remains goalless. Alexandri. Shaw. Buchanan's there. Bright. Oh, that's ambitious. Chelsea almost caught out. Berger's clearance didn't have enough oomph on it, but she was content that the hit was always heading over the top of the bar. Well, Shaw is the accused party here. Khadija Buchanan. Brighton took it in her stride well. Whips it in well. Kerr got up but couldn't get the touch. She's so reliable with her deliveries from wide positions, is Guro Reiten. This was bang on it again as well. There's a free kick. It's not been the most comfortable opening 25 minutes for Emma Hayes. Teams, and as recently as May, with Chelsea edging to a 3-2 win in the FA Cup final. Game that went to extra time in front of 50,000 fans at the National Stadium. And Fleming's given that away. Shaw digs out the cross well. Kelly after it. Castellanos is there as well, and is still there, and that's useful. Chloe Kelly gets the corner, but it could have been more. Well, miscontrol from Erin Cuthbert could have proved very costly there. Relieved that Mara Mjelde was wise to the danger. Well, he's been involved in 26 goals in 27 WSL appearances for Manchester City. Shaw's up there. And Chelsea have got a player down here. Both Shaw and Bright a little bit groggy after that. Gareth Taylor was talking about the fact that the setbacks that both his side and Chelsea suffered on the opening weekend are a demonstration of how competitive the league has become, and he's here for it. Thinks it's going to improve the quality across the division throughout. He's also said that she was delighted to see the attendance figures that were posted from the Emirates Stadium for that North London derby. Enjoying a sellout crowd here at Kings Meadow today as well. Really Bright is hoping to get herself back onto the pitch. And Bright is back on. Started every single game in all competitions for Chelsea last season, did Bright. And it's interesting to see both her and Alex Greenwood on the same pitch today, because both key for their respective sides last season when it came to trying to get play going from the back. Bright with the second most passes in the WSL last season. Only Greenwood made more than her. Buchanan goes back to Berger. Kemp closing down. Half an hour played, and nothing to choose between the sides in terms of the scoreline, and pretty even. when it comes to the pattern of play that we've seen so far too. Well, tough for him with the players that have departed from the Manchester City setup.
That's it. Inside. Don't worry about that. Just jump forward as well.
Things are still being patched up. Chelsea currently down to 10 players. Kasparai. And again, Dutch international opts against the early ball in. It's Kelly instead. Tried to pick out Kasparai. Will come to her. Now she goes for the delivery, and Berger comes to collect. There was a big cheer from the home crowd when Berger's name was read out before the game. Her first appearance since May, after she announced last month that she was being treated for the recurrence of thyroid cancer. Here's Cuthbert. And this time it's Shaw who's asking for the free kick rather than being accused by the opposition of an infringement of her own. Cuthbert. Eriksson. Buchanan. Right, that's risky. Here goes Hemp. Tracking back to help out there was Mjelde. Buchanan. Bright. James gets away from Coombs. Kelly back there, James involved as well. It's broken for Buchanan. Here's Magdalena Eriksson. Fleming. Cuthbert. Now Buchanan. Brighton. In with Kasparai last. Doesn't quite go behind for the corner. Vera Wright was so key to Chelsea retaining the title last season. She was, since March, the top player for goals, goal involvements and chances created from open play. Really good running the back end of the campaign. Fleming's there. Doesn't quite break for Kirby. Here's Greenwood. Hemp up against Mjelde, who's overhit that. Berger's avoided the corner, but Hemp's kept it going. Danger here. Hemp. Good save, Berger. She was aware that Hemp may go for the near post, which is exactly what Lauren Hemp did. Berger in a rush to prevent it going behind, but it came back to Lauren Hemp. And she did go for the tuck in at the near post. It needed dealing with from Berger. 10 to go until the break. Kelly. Well, not entirely sure what went on there. Manchester City's deliveries from corners have certainly proved to be a handful for Chelsea to deal with. This one, no exception. I mentioned that there was a big cheer for Berger beforehand. There is Serena Wiegmann, the England head coach. Number of England stars on show today. Cuthbert, Bright. Here's James. And James has given that away. Shaw. Coombs. Corner. Well, she created 5 chances in open play for Manchester City in that defeat against Aston Villa last time out. Only Viviana Miedema created more on the opening weekend of the campaign. And a shot in anger there, giving Manchester City another corner kick. Jostling in there again. It's another good delivery, but that's a really good claim. I'm not sure if Berger was blocked off by her own player in the shape of Guro Reiten, but she's in a hurry to get it up towards Kerr, who has collected. Now waiting for dark blue cavalry to arrive, which doesn't. And Hemp can take up the running for Manchester City. Shaw. Cuthbert needs to be quick. And doesn't get it away that far. Castellanos! We've seen a few under-hit clearances lead to some hairy moments. That was the latest, and it put a deflection off Fleming, which made it a bit trickier for Berger. Chelsea fans feel that a yellow card for one of those in light blue is well overdue. Cannon switch. Here's James. Fulton tries to stand her up. James away from her and in. That came off Guro Reiten last, I think. And that left-hand side is normally Chelsea's go-to wing. This time it was James who was making inroads on that flank. One by Bright. You see there that Manchester City ahead on attempts, and in terms of attempts on target, Chelsea yet to fashion one on goal. Wahabi's throw. Alexandri. Wahabi. Alexandri with the give and go. Worked that well. Hemp. Shaw. Almost wriggled clear. Kasparai. Now here's Coombs. No foul. James. Shrugged off the challenge well. Still going, James. Excellent stuff. Really good play. Fleming sent it on. Here's Reiten. Eriksson just nudged her away a little, and City have got plenty of players back. Kirby. Fleming. Now it's Buchanan. Buchanan. Fleming gets away from Horton, and across here, surely! Fran Kirby puts Chelsea in front. Their first shot on target leads to the first goal of the game. Manchester City will feel hard done by on the balance of play, but Chelsea quickly clicked through the gears here. Horton was left floundering. Wrighton then picked up the running and then picked out Fran Kirby, who was never going to pass up that opportunity. First time finish was unerring. Fleming got past Horton. Wrighton then cut it back, and Kirby got it right. Chelsea 1, Manchester City 0. Well, they've not been at their sparkling best, but the champions are in front. Looking for the quick response. Hemp. Here's Kelly. Useful ball. Oh, chance! Somehow saved by Berger. How on earth did she keep Laura Coombs out there? Manchester City very nearly did have the immediate response. Look at the space for Coombs, and the header from Buchanan came to her. In fact, I think it came off the post. No, off Berger and then onto the post. It is a terrific stop from the keeper. That's there. Eriksson got it in front of her though. Didn't look like a foul. Referee didn't think so. All the way back it goes from Kasparai to Ellie Roebuck. Who had precious little to do until Kirby poked that ball home. Shaw. Taken for by Buchanan, final minute of the half. Well, Fran Kirby scored for Chelsea at Liverpool last weekend, and they still came away from that one empty-handed, so Gareth Taylor will know it's far from a done deal. Kerr looks offside, and indeed the flag does come. And she was presented with a special award before kick-off, Emma Hayes, for her 10 years service at the club, and what a 10 years it has been. 11 major trophies, all of which won by Hayes in Chelsea's entire history. He's managed and won more games than any other head coach in WSL history. 67% win rate. Bright. Coombs has done well. Here she is again. We're going to have 4 additional minutes, by the way. Chloe Kelly. Coombs was up there. Horton steps in. Kirby. Alexandri. Coombs. That will be a free kick. Horton. Horton goes long, and too long. Cannon safely back to Berger. He's sent that straight out. Hemp. Straight into Berger. Jones. Here's Wrighton. It clears. Not been at their best, but set to go in ahead at the break. And super save from Anne-Catherine Berger, a big reason for that. To preserve their lead just after Frank Kirby had opened the scoring. Last minute of additional time. Well, they can't quite wriggle free, but will be a Chelsea throw and should be enough to ensure that they go in ahead at the interval. Champions in front at the break, thanks to Frank Kirby scoring for the second game in succession, but Chelsea have not been at their best. Manchester City with a number of good chances, Khadija Shaw with the vast majority of them, and Katrin Berger with one super stop in particular to preserve Chelsea's advantage. But at the break, it is Chelsea who hold the lead. Chelsea 1, Manchester City 0. So two of the heavyweights of the WSL going head-to-head at Kings Meadow this afternoon, and Chelsea almost off to a flyer. Sam Kerr in the right place but couldn't produce the right finish to give Chelsea an early advantage pretty much straight from kickoff. But after that, Chelsea didn't create too much going forwards. They were reliant really on opportunities afforded to them by Manchester City, such as this from Steph Houghton, who allowed Kerr to get in on goal. She teed up Kirby, and perhaps she would have been better advised to have gone for goal herself, as it came to nothing in the end for the champions, with Mjelder's ball in, safely gathered by Roebuck. Houghton, a very relieved player after Sam Kerr decided to be unselfish and try to tee up Kirby rather than go for goal herself. And the chance eventually went away. Manchester City had their chances and had a good period throughout the first half where they really had Chelsea pegged back. This was an appeal for a penalty for Khadija Shaw, but as you can see here, even if the foul had been given, it should have been given outside of the penalty area. In the end, no foul was forthcoming from Abigail Byrne. Manchester City continue to ask questions though. Shaw was involved again here. Kelly with the cutback. Shaw with the eventual strike at goal, but one that Berger could see safely go over the top. Chelsea given another nervy moment here when Lauren Hemp was all over the back of Maren Mjelder and forced Berger to cough up possession. Hemp then into the area, went for the near post. Berger wise to it and sticking out a big hand to prevent Hemp scoring. But it was good stuff from Lauren Hemp here, and Berger needed to be alert. Manchester City were certainly the better team at this stage of the game, but as is the way with champions, it was the chance for Chelsea to take the lead, which was duly gobbled up. Their first opportunity of the game that they got on target, and Kirby put it in the net to score for the second game running. Wrighton with the cutback, Kirby with the finish, and the Euro 2022 winner finding the net in front of the watching England boss Serena Wiegman. But Manchester City nearly struck back immediately with a combination of Berger and the post, keeping Laura Coombs out. Fantastic save from the keeper to ensure it's Chelsea 1, City 0 at half-time. So here's the tale of the tape from the first half. As you can see, Manchester City with so many more shots and shots on target compared to the hosts. Chelsea scoring with their only effort on target, but it's a lot more even when it comes to the possession stakes. Well, this another of the very tasty matches that we've had in the WSL this weekend. Yesterday, the two sides who finished runners-up and third in the WSL last season, Arsenal took maximum points from their opening fixture of the new campaign, and yesterday they welcomed Tottenham in the North London derby. Commentary comes from Ben Andrews.
McCabe, back to Valti, who's given it away, but has, in typical fashion, won it back. Valti with the cross, Beth Mead! Oh, that was heading into the corner for sure. Ash Neville with a crucial block, and Arsenal very nearly with a 3rd-minute lead here. Everyone expecting 1-0, and it very nearly was. Little running into Cho, but emerging with the football, and that's a well-timed pass. Here's Mead, and again Beth Mead. Arsenal in front already, and of course it's Mead, the fans' favourite, the England hero. She could do no wrong right now. Even enjoying the rub of the green as it came back to her here, but didn't she finish it well? 1 game plus 5 minutes into the new season, she's got 3 goals already. Arsenal all over Spurs in these early minutes. Catley to McCabe. Tottenham powerless seemingly to do anything about these Arsenal attacks, as Kim Little maybe trying to wrong foot Becky Spencer here. Catch her out at the near post. Nearly. Naz. This is Tottenham possession inside the Arsenal half. We have barely seen that. This is Bizet. Didn't get hold of it. 4 white shirts in the box. First time today that's happened too. McCabe with the cross. It's dangerous. Turner didn't know where that header had gone. Good cross from McCabe, and it's glanced wide. Caitlin Ford found herself a bit of room. Tough header that. What they haven't done, despite being so on top, Arsenal, is force Becky Spencer into too much action. It's not much of a pass from her though, and Ford has stolen in on it, and it's Miedema right at the end of the first half. Ice cool, 2-0, Vivianne Miedema. And what terrible timing for a terrible mistake. They're about to get in for the half-time team talk, somehow only 1 down, but now it's 2 and they're in big trouble. And it's so avoidable. What a gift. Simanen couldn't control it. It wasn't the best pass. Clinical. Deep corner. Raphael, it's 3! Booming header from the big defender. Party time at the Emirates in front of this record crowd. They are smashing Spurs here. It's a great header from Raphael. Just her 2nd gunner's goal, right into the corner. They've taken a quick, neat routine here, Arsenal, and that's Miedema. Easy. She's got 2. Arsenal have 4. Vivianne Miedema's 8th goal in 6 North London derbies. Tottenham's defence may be unsettled. Left the league's all-time top scorer relatively free. What, 4 yards out? 4-0.
Substitution.
So a big win for Arsenal in the North London derby. Other results so far today: Brighton and Hove Albion beating Reading by 2-1. Aston Villa have made it 2 wins from 2 after beating Leicester City, whilst Manchester United were 2-0 winners away at West Ham. Half-time in the game at Kingsmeadow, Chelsea leading Manchester City, and later on it is Liverpool against Everton. So this is how it affects the table at the moment. Arsenal, Manchester United and Aston Villa all holding 100% records so far. Chelsea would have their first win on the board, and Manchester City would remain pointless after 2 games. So Chelsea hold the advantage at the break. The second half against Manchester City is coming up soon. So Manchester City coming out for the second half, trailing by a goal to nil, but they will feel a bit hard done by, given the way that the match has panned out so far. Emma Hayes will know that they can certainly do better, but they have shown the hallmark of champions. We did see this from Chelsea last season, so dangerous on the break that they don't really need many opportunities with their passing game, cutting through sides. Emma Hayes said that when they lost to Liverpool last weekend, that the team couldn't hit a barn door. Well, they have got themselves a goal, but they have not given Manchester City too many moments of worry. City will feel that they had a better half in more of the game, but it's a reminder of the quality that Chelsea have, that one moment can lead to a goal, as Kirby ensured it did. Still, you'd say Gareth Taylor would be pretty pleased, as it's been a fairly ferocious game. Well, this clash earlier on in the campaign between two of the heavyweights of the division certainly hasn't let us down. End-to-end action pretty much from the word go. City with more of the chances, and we feel that they should have at least a goal to show for their efforts. Chelsea want to carve out something right at the start of the second half, just as they did with Kerr at the start of the game. Nothing from that particular move, though. Horton just about finds Alexandri. Here's Coombs, who was somehow kept at bay by that splendid Berger save and is on the move here. But has got their angles all wrong there, doesn't find either Hemp or Shaw. Eriksson. Berger's got to be careful, and eventually gets it away. Eriksson going back to her keeper here, and Berger confident enough to try and bring it out from the back before clattering it upfield. Kasparai. Castellanos will just buffet it against Fleming to ensure that Manchester City have the throw. Kelly couldn't quite get onto that. Coombs stuck out a boot. Cuthbert by Horton. Fleming couldn't clear her lines. Pressure already on for these two sides, given Arsenal's start to the season. Manchester United joining the Gunners at the top of the WSL with 2 wins from their opening 2 games as well. Like Arsenal, they're also yet to concede. Eriksson overhit that. Alexandri. Horton. Alexandri just levered off it. Kirby. Wrighton. No surprise that a goal came down that left-hand side for Chelsea. Such a great outlet for them. Always looks so dangerous on that flank, especially when Brighton's in the mood. Cuthbert. Berger. James nipping in, and firm but fair according to the referee. She's lost out now, mind. They're collected by Cuthbert, who's released Fleming. Early pass from her to find Wrighton. He's lost her footing and lost the ball. How about this from a run by Kasparai? Now Hemp. Kasparai wants it back. Hemp keeps it and finds Shaw. Bright to the rescue for Chelsea. Super run from Kerstin Kasparai. Hemp here picked out Shaw. It's a great ball. Shaw's control, though, just gave Bright the glimmer to nip in and take the ball away from her. Eighth corner of the game for Manchester City. Chelsea yet to have one. Generally, their delivery from corners has been on point, and that, although it didn't look like the greatest ball in, could have worked out brilliantly for them. Alexandri with the dart towards the near post, which makes you feel that that was a pre-rehearsed routine. Buchanan. Didn't get enough height on that. Alexandri, useful. Coombs, straight at Berger. Much more comfortable save for Berger compared to the earlier one that she produced to keep Coombs at bay. Again, it's nicely worked by Manchester City, who have certainly had their moments, but haven't had their goal. James being quite blatantly tugged back there by Leila Ouahabi. And would be surprised if she escapes a booking, and she doesn't escape the yellow card. James here with a frustrated expression, and I feel that that was definitely the right call for Ouahabi to go in the book. Kirby. Here's James. Buchanan. Gura Wrighton. Kirby. Mielder back to Kirby. Here's James. Kirby stuck out a boot. And has done well to wrestle possession back there from Alexandri. Here's James. Mielder. James forced to go back. Kasparai beating Fleming to it, but at the expense of a throw for Chelsea. Eric Eriksson with distance on the throw. Brighton. Eriksson, interesting, but tricky for Roebuck. Here's Bright. Manchester City lost their opening match of the WSL season for the first time since 2014 in that thriller against Villa. Their first season in the competition, 2014, when they last were beaten on the opening weekend. James, Roebuck can easily gather that. And in that 2014 season, they also lost their second game of the campaign. And only in the second half, they are in danger of losing their opening 2 matches of this season. Alexandri closed down by Kirby. Roebuck. That's a free kick, and Manchester City just inquiring as to whether it might have merited anything more. James. And she's unhappy with something. And they'll feel that they're unfortunate to be trailing on the balance of play. Certainly knocked the ball around nicely, just haven't taken their opportunities. And Chelsea have pounced with the one that they've had, as you can see there. One shot on target, and it's the one that ended up in the City net. Almost 3 times as many efforts on goal, though, from the visitors compared to the champions. Kelly, nothing wrong with that. Cuthbert, might be something wrong with that. Just a word for Castellanos on this occasion. The message from Gareth Taylor will be just keep on doing what you're doing and a goal will surely come. Concern he might have is that they'll become frustrated the longer it stays at 1-0. And Chelsea have shown flashes of what they can do, but it has been a pretty disjointed performance from Emma Hayes' side thus far. Kirby. And Manchester City feel that she was playing for that. Kirby stating her case. You can see why Manchester City didn't feel there was much in that. Kirby has now been involved in 34 goals in her last 21 WSL starts for Chelsea, scoring 21, providing 13 assists. It's kept alive by Kerr. Bright's in the mix. Still not away from City. Bright making a nuisance of herself. Up goes Fleming, collected by Shaw, who's been quieter in the early stages of the second half than she was in the main in the first period. She's got herself a free kick here for the hack from Cuthbert. think that there was a yellow for Erin Cuthbert there. Kasparai back to Horton. Buchanan gets there, Kelly misses her kick. Okay, shunted out of play by Eriksson. Kirby back to Buchanan. Here's Bright. Kerr. James, and again. Kerr. That's going to drift behind for a corner. Hour gone then. Cuthbert's corner for Chelsea. Fleming picks up the pieces. James. Kadisha Buchanan. Bright. It was a bit sloppy and it was quickly in. Berger.
Get ready, Lauren. Show the Dana. I need a keeper. Come, Dana.
Chelsea sticking to their guns when it comes to working it out from the back. Cuthbert, bit of a blind pass there, but she gets away with it, the Scotland international. Eriksson scampers after it.
Go with us, our ball.
Buchanan's gone over, and the referee belatedly gives a foul. Well, it's around this stage of the game that managers normally look to their bench and try to shake things up. Gareth Taylor was talking about how he's got plenty of good options and he's had a selection headache. Oh, would have thought by now he might be considering a roll of the dice.
Release! Laya! Release money, Laya!
Cuthbert.
Good.
Mjelde.
Upstep. Upstep.
To go back to Bright. It's a good squeeze this from Manchester City. Berger quickly across to Eriksson. Chelsea responding by working it out from the back well until a clattering challenge. Firm but fair from Alexandri though. I wanted to see a better version of Manchester City without the ball. I think it's safe to say that they've displayed that. Cuthbert. Buchanan. Shaw's done well. Here's Hemp. Well, speaking of changes, it looks as though it's going to be Chelsea to make the first switch of the afternoon. And Jesse Fleming, who was recently clattered, not sure if that's part of the reason for the change, is heading off. And Sophie Ingle, who dropped out of the side today, is on for her. Ingle. Not quite enough on the pass to beat Kasperaj. Chelsea have won it back, right, and sends it wide. Here is Eriksson. Useful cross, but in the end it was too close to Ellie Roebuck. Fizzed in well here by Eriksson. Chelsea beaten last weekend. They haven't lost consecutive games in the WSL since July 2015. The second of those defeats did come at home to Manchester City. James. Nicely done. Kirby couldn't quite wriggle through. Well, the attendance just been announced, just a shade under 4,500. There is not a spare seat inside the King's Meadow. And they have been treated to a game of high quality, if not a high scoring affair between two of the sides that will certainly fight it out for the Champions League places, and in Chelsea's case, almost certainly be tussling for the title right till the end. Well, the calibre of opposition today has to be borne in mind. It would be a really disappointing start to the campaign for Manchester City, eliminated from the Champions League in qualifying by Real Madrid, and then the 4-3 defeat at Aston Villa in their WSL opener. Shaw's helped that on. Kerr, though, in the right spot. Here's the caveat that it is a transitional phase for City. The major departures that Gareth Taylor's had to contend with. Well, Chelsea were the better side in the defeat against Liverpool. Feel that they've not exactly been the better team today, and are on course for the victory. For 8 years, Chelsea, Arsenal and Manchester City have dominated the top of the table. Birmingham City and Liverpool were the last clubs to break that particular stranglehold in 2014. The early signs are that Manchester United will certainly be knocking at the door this term. They finished 4th in the past 3 seasons. And after the key departures from the club this summer, I wonder if that might open the door further for Manchester United to try and sneak in, and maybe others. I know that Tottenham were well beaten by Arsenal, but they've shown they could challenge in the last campaign too. Berger. Quarter of the game to go.
Yes, bud. Good game, mate. Keep it up. Keep going, Cooney.
Shaw quick to close down the space. Out off Hemp. Quick turnaround for Chelsea's next match, by the way. The rearranged WSL fixture against West Ham now being played 3 days later here at Kings Meadow on Wednesday, for the 2-week gap between games as the players head off for the October international break. The West Ham game originally scheduled to be Chelsea's first match of the season, to be played at Stamford Bridge, but postponed following the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Eriksen's throw. Here is Ingle. Chelsea asserting a bit more of a degree of control without dominating. Ingle. Here's Eriksen. Fizzed in, but to no one in a dark blue shirt. And now James on the scene to collect. And James goes for it! Well, the ball in initially wasn't great, but it worked out for Chelsea in that it reached Lauren James eventually. Tried to bend it into that far corner. I'm not sure if Roebuck knew it was going wide or just hoped that it would. Eleven of 12 appearances before this season for Chelsea were as substitutes. So it's a rare start for her. It's the one goal for Chelsea last season, and it was an injury-blighted campaign for Lauren James. It's a case of game management for Chelsea. They're not exactly battering at Manchester City's door in the pursuit of a second goal. Onus on City to try and make something happen, though. And Chelsea have actually forced City into an error there. It's Kirby. Kirby! She's got 3 goals in her last 4 starts against Manchester City, including today, an assist as well in that time. Fancied her luck from distance, but didn't quite come down enough. Chelsea certainly seemed to have the edge in the WSL last season. They won the corresponding fixture here at Kings Meadow by 1-0, having previously thrashed City 4-0 in a brilliant performance in Manchester. City got revenge, though, defeating the Blues in the Continental League Cup final to deny Hayes' side a treble. Cuthbert. Bright goes all the way back. Ingle. Berger just about. Chelsea have been playing a bit of a dangerous game with going all the way back so often and just about getting it clear.
Okay, relax. Run, touchdown.
Not quite for the run of Chloe Kelly, who's been starved of the ball. Right. Nice layoff by Kerr, and here goes James. Eating up the turf in front of her, James. And having a go! Roebuck to the rescue for Manchester City to keep them in the game. Here's Kerr. That would have wrapped it up for Chelsea. Mielder, here's James. Final quarter of an hour. Chelsea looking to just make it a more relaxed last 15 minutes. Kirby. Mielder. Kerr, not quite. Bright. James opts for safety first. Keisha Buchanan closing in on her first clean sheet for Chelsea since joining in the summer. Manchester City's next outing is at home to Leicester City on the 16th of October. Here's Wrighton. Eriksson. That's only away as far as Cuthbert. And Cuthbert again. Ingles hit. Oh! Roebuck sprawling to try and stop it, sneaking in. Looked like it may have clipped the crossbar on its way as well. Well, actually awarded a penalty here. Indeed, that is what Abigail Byrne has decided. Frank Kirby scored from the spot against Liverpool last weekend, but it's Maren Mielder who has taken the responsibility here. Maren Mielder, brilliant penalty. And surely all 3 points for the champions now. Well, this is textbook. You don't save those. Absolutely arrowed in by the Norwegian international. That is why the penalty was given. Ingle was quick to appeal. Abigail Byrne quick to award it. And Manchester City quick to complain. Her last WSL goal was also a penalty against Manchester City in a home win, in a 3-1 success back in October 2020. This penalty makes it 2-0 late on in September 2022. Change has been made, meanwhile, by City. Hemp off, and Rasso, who scored for City against Villa, is on. Well, long way back for Manchester City now. And while they asked some real questions of Chelsea in the first period, it's been a much limper showing from them in the attacking zones in this second half. Kelly trying to change that here. James. It's a free kick. And it's going to be a battle between two teams yet to pick up a point in Manchester City's next outing. The home match against Leicester City, who've also lost their opening two games. Alexandri, Shaw. Alexandri again. Rasso. No way past Eriksson. Gathered cleanly by Ann-Katrin Berger, and how crucial her save in the first half looks now. Despite the defeat last weekend, Emma Hayes said that she'd been pleased with the reaction of her players in training this week. She also added that improved levels of concentration would be needed against City this afternoon. Not been vintage, but in the big moments they have shown their quality. Errant pass from Steph Horton. Here is Kirby. Kirby's won the free kick, and Chelsea happy to just wind down the clock now. If he regrets not making some alterations earlier on in the piece, Gareth Taylor. Didn't reach for his bench until after they'd conceded the second goal. Brighton, little dummy before now delivering. Shaw back there to clear City's lines. So Laia Alexandri, the Spain international, is withdrawn. Another Spanish international on in the shape of Vicky Losada. And Khadija Shaw did give Chelsea some nervy moments at times in the first half, but faded as the game went on. Blackstad asked her to try and do some damage in what remains of the game now. Right on it there. Here is Kirby, now Cuthbert. Been a really good performance from Erin Cuthbert. She's so versatile in terms of all the different areas she can play in. Now in that sort of deeper midfield role, linking up the play, jumping in with a few tackles as well. Less about her attacking, more about her dictating the tempo, which she's done to good effect today. Bright's header. James. Last 5 minutes then. Buchanan. Also came across, but Buchanan has spun it across to Eriksson. Cuthbert, lovely swivel. And that's a free kick. Time for a couple of Chelsea switches now. And Brighton was right there for her withdrawal from the fray. And Maren Mjelde is also going off. Eve Perisset stepping in. Well, she will be once she's allowed to. Maren Mjelde being serenaded. Charles is the other player on, and here she is. Cleared by Buchanan. Charles. Here goes Kirby. Chelsea looking to add some gloss to the scoreline. Slightly behind Kerr though. Perisset was on as a substitute at Liverpool as well. One of those new signings, the French defender from Bordeaux. Got her on a free, the France international. Good score at the Euros. Big goal it was as well. The quarter-final against Netherlands, a penalty in extra time. James. Charles all the way back to Ann-Katrin Berger. Almost a moment to forget for Berger, but gave the crowd something to gasp about. Coombs. 90 seconds of the 90 minutes to play. Gordon. Cuthbert quickly onto it. Cannon sends it out. Kasparai. Horton. Now 4 minutes at the end of the 90 minutes. The game is already secured for Chelsea. Well, could have had a goal today, Lauren James. It's been a sparkling performance from her. And the Swedish midfielder, Johanna Rytting-Kaneryd, is coming on. Played in the semi-final that they lost to England during the Euros. Another of the new recruits over the summer. Another substitute appearance for her, just as she made in the defeat at Liverpool. Roebuck. Bit risky. Kerr was quickly there. Greenwood. In a tight spot. Another goal for Kirby to go alongside the one that she bagged at Liverpool from the spot. He said that she was confident they'd bounce back in their first home game of the season. And bounce back they have. Kelly's ball in. And here's a chance for Rasso. Berger gets there in the nick of time. Buchanan. Kerr. And Charles just made a run a touch too early. The champions are up.